I'm Trace.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two lovable scamps. And this is From Our Perspective. Oh, goodness gracious. This is episode 30.
Is it?
Yeah, the big 3-0.
I mean, 30 does come after 29. I don't know what I expected.
Welcome to From Our Perspective. This one might be a little weird.
Yeah.
Because at the time I'm recording this, I'm leaving for college in 2 days.
Yes.
And this was kind of a spur of the moment thing because we had planned on backlogging episodes, and
we never did that.
We didn't do that because we are both procrastinators.
Oh yeah, I am big time.
And we didn't. At least I kept forgetting to reach out to you, and then but like 15 minutes ago, I was sitting in my room, just kind of going through some old vinyls I have, and I got a message like, "Hey, are we still gonna?
Are we still doing that?
Are we still gonna record a couple of episodes?" And I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" And now it's 2:31, or 12:31 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. So this one will probably also be short, just to kind of go ahead and make sure that you all are prepared for the road trip that this episode might turn out to be. But before we get into just a bunch of chit-chat, I just finished watching a show, the first season. It's a brand new show. It's really good. And I kind of want to talk about that for a little bit.
What is it called?
This show is the new Amazon Prime original, The Boys.
The Boys. I've heard about it a little bit. I haven't seen it.
It is very good. So it's based off of a comic book. And the comic book itself is it's more, I would imagine it's more of a graphic novel, which is somehow different. I don't really know.
It's an edgy comic book.
Yeah, it's just edgy. Worse stuff happens. But it's based off a comic book that's, I would imagine, kind of a satire of comic books already. Mm-hmm. So, I won't delve into spoilers or anything, but I'll kind of explain it. So, it's
at the end of the season, Bruce Willis is dead.
Bruce Willis is dead the whole time. No, but Haley Joel Osment, the kid from Sixth Sense, is in the show.
Oh, he is? Really?
Yeah, he is in the show.
Weird. What a coincidence.
I know. So it's a show about superheroes.
Yes.
Kind of. It's kind of, so like, everyone views the
If I'm understanding correctly, it's like if superheroes were real.
Like actually real.
Like
because
actually real.
Everyone's like, oh, the MCU is like what would happen if superheroes were real. No. This is a very obvious, like, this is totally true, and you feel the truth in it. Because it's if superheroes were real, they wouldn't all be heroes. Most of them wouldn't be. Because basically what you're doing with a superhero is superheroes are basically, and this is what the show kind of teaches you, superheroes are basically gods with human bodies.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Most of the time. But this show also gives them human minds, so they're corrupt, they're criminals, they're greedy, they're lustful, they're all of these things.
Are there any good ones?
You only really meet like one good one. Everyone else in it. A weird thing about the show is it doesn't,
that's pretty cynical that only one of them turns out to be actually good.
But no, because here's the thing, it's like you're basically dealing, and the thing is the superheroes are, they're kind of, it's exactly what would happen if superheroes were real. They would be treated like celebrities. because they are. They're basically like athletes.
You could buy their merch.
Literally. Like there's a character, and it's more cynical on the DC universe side. So there's a Superman kind of parody, there's the Wonder Woman parody, Aquaman parody, Flash parody. There's one that I don't really know. There are two of them that there's like an Invisible Man, and then there's I don't know if he's really a Batman parody or not. He's called the Dark Noir or Dark Noir or Noir.
I mean, that sounds like a Batman.
But he doesn't really. He's not really fleshed out. He's in like 6 of the episodes. Never says a word. Is just there for comedic relief, and you don't know if he's like a good one or a bad one. But so those parodies are part of this company, and they're called the Seven. And then there's the one that's like the good one. She's new.
Okay.
And all of the Seven, before she came in, were all money-hungry, corrupt people. Like the first thing that you learn about them is when she thinks they're about to start fighting crimes, the Invisible Man is sitting there reading over papers, and you can't see him, you just see his glasses, reading over papers, talking about how the real criminals are the ones who are pirating their movies and selling fake merch. So it kind of and that's in like the first episode, and it kind of paints them in this light from then that these people are just horrible. And then some of the ones that are really horrible, it tries to like make you sympathize with them. So it gives them that human aspect where they're just severely flawed, and some of them don't know that they are. They think that they're helpful when in reality they're evil, but not like evil. I mean, some of them are horrifically evil for more reasons than one.
Yeah.
So and then it's not just focused on them. There is a group of guys, the boys, who hate superheroes for various reasons.
Yeah, isn't that one guy part of that? The what's his name?
Which one?
He was in Star Trek. He was in Thor Ragnarok.
The guy
that guy. Everybody knows.
He's from New Zealand.
Yeah, that guy.
He's got the jet black hair. Yeah. His name's Billy Butcher.
He was Bones in the newer Star Trek.
Yeah, Billy Butcher. He's like the ipso facto leader of the boys. And he hates. They call him Soups. He hates Soups the most. So it's a really interesting show with really interesting concepts. You never really know who to root for. Because even like your protagonists, the boys, have their moments, and you're like, oh, I don't know who's good or bad. And it's supposed to be a dark comedy, but most of the time it's just dark. It's like horrifying.
So it's like if you were to like write it out, you would write in big bold letters dark,
and then
you write a little comedy.
Yeah, little in parentheses comedy. Like so the superhero or the Superman parody, the Homelander. He's got this blue leather suit, and he's got this cape, and he's clean cut, everything strong, like a big strong man. He's got an American flag cape.
Big strong man,
hot, sexy,
beautiful
eyes. I love him.
Ass that doesn't quit.
But he's Superman. He's Superman, and he's basically
evil, corrupt Superman.
He has basically all of the same powers as Superman, and the only difference is when they take out bad guys, and there are actual bad guys that they take out, they'll totally kill them. So there's a part where he's like running, where the Homelander is going to take out a terrorist group, and he like floats in lands next to these guys, I would imagine like scooping up gunpowder, says, "Hey boys," and when they go to shoot him, laser eyes them in half. And it's just like, it's so crazy because, and that's like his main thing, is he can fly, he's so strong, but he just, so many times he just cuts people in half with laser eyes.
Well,
And I can't, and it's just,
I mean, what else are you supposed to do with laser eyes, Trace? Heat up your soup?
but yeah, it's just crazy. It's eerie because there's the Injustice games with Superman, and it's eerie how much more evil, because in the Injustice game, Superman is evil because the Joker makes him kill Lois Lane. And in this, he doesn't really have any reason. He's just evil.
Well, isn't he just after the fame and the money and stuff? Is that his deal, or is he just like killing people?
It doesn't seem like he is in it for that. He does just, he's like a sociopath. Like, he's legitimately like, I don't want to delve into too many things, but he just does so many things where you're like, he is irredeemable. Some of them you can like say, that is a redeemable person. They're dealing with addiction or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
They can't really help it. But this man is just
this guy.
so evil. He's so evil, but he's got like that Ted Bundy like charm switch.
He's so hot.
He's just got that switch that Ted Bundy, like, where you can be charming and then you can be the most maniacally evil person. It's a great show. I don't want to keep talking about it forever and ever, but I just watched the last episode not too long ago, and I was shocked to say the least. It was very good.
I was shooken to my core.
I was so scared that I locked my door and said, Dada, please don't let Homelander take me.
I just imagine you going up to your actual dad's room, knocking on the door and going, Dada!
Dada, please, he's coming
I
for
don't want
me.
the Homelander to get me. He will cut me in half with lasers.
He will cut me.
Lasers. I don't want to die by lasers.
But yeah, it's a really good show.
Well, I think we have a dual branching scenario here. Do we talk about superheroes or do we talk about TV shows?
I don't know. I guess we could talk about TV shows. I feel like we've talked about superheroes enough because that's very superhero centered.
I guess that's true.
What
are some other TV shows you like?
I
I guess we should jump to me. Let's see.
Yeah, what's a TV show that you've watched recently that you really liked?
Hmm.
I mean, I know you don't really watch TV that much to begin with.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I mean,
but there's got to be something.
Something that I've watched recently. Let's see. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey Trace, what shows do you like to watch?
I know you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but I like that show a lot.
I haven't seen it. A lot of these are going to be I haven't seen it because...
Yeah. I mean, there was another show that I really was fond of that you used to watch, and that was The Walking Dead. That was a show that I up until about season 8, never missed an episode.
I watched it until a particular character died, and then I didn't care anymore.
Yeah. Because I'm a big fan of the Walking Dead comic books. They're really good, in my opinion. Those are graphic novels. They're really good. I've read them all. They just finished publication. It was kind of weird because I remember at one point reading that they were planning on going to like 300 issues or something like that.
Really?
The main character of The Walking Dead is a zombie graphic novel and TV show, soon to be movie series.
Who are you telling this right now?
Everybody
knows this.
No, you can't assume that everyone knows.
I think almost everybody knows.
It is like, I think, one of I think it might be the most viewed TV show.
Yeah, my dad watches it sometimes. That's how you know.
That's how you know everyone knows.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Is when Sam's dad has seen it. Regardless, you can never expect everyone to know. So it's a zombie genre thing. But so they were planning on telling in the graphic novel, at least they were planning on telling the main character's story through and through. And I remember I read that it was going to last like 300 issues or something like that.
Mm-hmm. How many is it at? And did you say they stopped?
Yeah, out of nowhere. I remember because what they would do is they would have like a 1 through issue or 47 issue compendium that they would release every once in a while. So, and it had come out when I was like 5. It was originally released. Let me take that back. It was originally released when I was like 5-ish. Around that time.
The graphic novel?
Yeah, the graphic novel.
I was gonna say the TV show is not that old.
No, it came out in 2011.
Okay.
I think was the first episode. October something.
That sounds about right.
Probably Halloween. But
spooky.
Yeah. It's about little known fact, at least the graphic novel, because the guy who wrote it is from Kentucky. It is about Rick Grimes is a Kentucky sheriff from King County, which I don't know.
I thought it was in Atlanta.
He does in the comic eventually go to Atlanta.
Why did TV show change it?
I don't know. Beats me.
Everybody hates Kentucky. Is that it?
Yeah, basically. But it follows his journey throughout the apocalypse. He gets shot, goes into a coma, and wakes up in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, and is a little confused, may I say. He wants to find his family. He eventually does. He wants to protect Coral. He wants to protect his family. He eventually can't. Is basically his whole
great news
character.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A real knee slapper.
What a goofy, zany show that's filled with laughs. What me and my dad would do, because my dad also read the graphic novel, is we would wait for these compendiums to come out. So we bought the first one. I read that sucker, and that thing is huge. Read that sucker in like 5 days.
Wow.
Then eventually got the second one. Got the second compendium.
What's a compendium?
It's 47 issues of the thing.
Is it like bound?
Yeah,
Is it like a giant dictionary book?
Yeah, it's just a big book. But they have the Walking Dead Compendium 1, 2, and 3. So we got the first 3, and we were like, okay, let's just kind of wait till the 4th one comes out. And then we were like, that's gonna take forever, because they publish an issue monthly.
Yeah.
And a compendium has 47 issues in it. So it would take.
That's a few years.
Yeah, it would take. It would take a couple of years. So
I believe
we started.
It's 4 years.
Yeah, just about.
I think exactly.
No, shut up. But we were like, let's not wait that long. So we started buying individual volumes, which were like 8 issues, and then we stopped doing that as well. And then I was scrolling through on Facebook, and it was like, The Walking Dead creator apologizes for abrupt ending. I was like, dude, what?
I'd love it if at the end it's like all of a sudden it just goes, and then he died. The end.
and then he died, or it's like there's one page that's only half drawn, and then the other one is just like, I quit.
It's like a pencil sketch.
I quit. I'm sorry.
It's like he did it in 3 seconds. It's just a picture of like a stick man with a hat and a sheriff badge next to it.
Eyes crossed out with X's. He died. The end.
He dead.
I don't have to keep writing this anymore. Damn.
Thank God, I can move on to other things that will be less successful.
Yeah. So it reached an abrupt ending, and then I was able to catch up. Very good. The show in recent seasons, not as good. It becomes a little muddled because it's been going on for 11 years. Or not 11. It's been going on since 2011.
So 8 years.
So it just... It's hard to keep actors in a role for that long.
Is the one guy's gone, right?
The guy who plays Rick, he said, I'm done. I'm fucking done. It's been 9 years. Get me off of this damn show. And now he's making movies to kind of conclude Rick Grimes' story. Is what I'm led to believe.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know. It was a good show. I really liked it. It was different enough from the comics to keep you interested, but kept true enough to where you were like, I like these characters. And then they would like kill off random characters, and then you're like, why? Like there was
And then you're like, why? What's the
there's
point?
a character.
They just got a dartboard with the characters' faces on them, and they're like, somebody's got to die this episode. It's been like 8 since the last person died, and they're like,
They throw the dart.
well, he's dead.
There goes Andrea.
Get his
like
contract up.
Well, no, there's a the character Andrea, and I mean she died in like season 3 or 4 or something like that. So
Spoilers.
who gives a shit? If you're waiting for
And
the
I can say who my guy was because he died in like season 3.
no, he died in like season 4.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think so. It was I think a finale episode for season 4.
Huh. I don't know.
Or something like that. Because season 4 was the prison. Anyway, it's been so many years. Who cares? Sam stopped watching when Herschel died.
Hey, spoilers.
Well, I just talked about Andrea. Who gives a shit? Who even watches the show? If you haven't watched the show, you're not going to.
I hate The Walking Dead.
If you haven't watched the show yet, you're not going to. If you do watch it, you've seen season 3 and season 4. Andrea in the comics is a very integral part of the team. She eventually marries Rick and becomes a mother to Carl. But in the show, the showrunner, kind of like the lead producer, the Kevin Feige of The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
was like, I don't like that actress. We're killing off her character.
Oh, God.
And they did. And you're like, well,
shit.
what are they going to do now? And then they just give her story to someone else. And you're like, why kill her off?
Why do that?
It doesn't, because they do that a lot with the show, is they'll kill off a specific character, and then they'll give that storyline from the comics to someone else. And you're like, pardon? Eh oui?
I guess they just want to kill people because it's more interesting.
I mean, it is, but it's a little thinly veiled from someone who's read the comics, where you're just like, oh, they're just killing this person off because. Or then there are like characters that are really cool in the comics that they don't give anything to in the show. Like there's one specific character, I won't spoil this one because it was a recent season, I think it was last season, who is really cool in the comics and is alive. But they didn't do anything with him in the show, so the actor was like, yeah, kill me. Just kill me.
Just kill me, please. Mercy killing.
Just kill my character.
My guy's pointless.
He's pointless now. And he was good. I liked his character. I wish they would have done a lot more with him, but they didn't. I've basically beaten around the bush. I've stopped watching the show. It's like coming up on season 10, and I haven't watched it since like the end of season 8.
Egads.
Egads. You've lost your number 1 fan, fellas.
Oh no.
What are you gonna do?
All the characters come back to life.
They all come back to life. They sign Andrew Lincoln on again. They're like, "Come be Rick Grimes, please. We need Trace back."
They all come back to life. They turn to the TV screen and they go, "Trace, what do you want us to do?"
This is for you, Trace. And then I
all
write
in unison in a horrible chorus.
cacophony of horrible voices. Yeah, it used to be a good show. I don't know. Apparently, it got better again, but I don't care enough anymore. A show that was really good and was able to find a punctual ending was Breaking Bad. I know we started to talk about that. That one's about
you kind of trailed off. I think Firefly has a similar thing.
Well, Firefly had an abrupt ending that wasn't planned, right?
It's like it's like you die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah.
So it didn't have the decline that another show might have because it had one season.
Yeah. But the thing with Breaking Bad is it went on for 5 seasons. It just knew where to stop.
Yeah.
It said, we have become the most popular show on television. Now we're done. We're
going to go home with our head held high.
We have to make sure that we do not run this thing into the ground.
I love that.
They did it perfectly. It's a great show.
Brevity is a beautiful thing.
It is, in hindsight. While watching the show, I was like, why did they have to do this? Why is it over? But it was ended. Breaking Bad, for those of you who don't know, is about a science teacher. Hold on to your seatbelts, ladies and gents, because this one gets a little wild. It's about a science teacher who gets cancer and then decides to cook meth.
Egads.
Turns into the biggest drug lord in the New Mexico area. And he's just some middle-aged, or like he's like a 50-year-old white dude who has been a teacher all of his life.
Bryan Cranston.
It's Bryan Cranston.
It's Bryan Cranston.
It's crazy to think that in those 5 seasons, so much happens, but it's like in his life, it's only like 2 years, because one of the first episodes, he's turning 50, I think, or he is 50, or maybe 51, and then...
Or is he 52?
He might... No, he's either 50 or 51, and then by the end of the series, he's either 52 or 53. I think he's 53.
Okay.
So it's like this... It's this ridiculous show full of so many things.
Wasn't there like a twist ending put somewhere? I don't know if it was online or something, where it's like he wakes up in Malcolm in the Middle and he's like, I had a horrible dream.
Oh, yeah, like a fake fan theory.
Yeah.
That would be great if.
I think that's a video. I think that I saw that somewhere.
I mean, I haven't
not like on the end of the show. I know that. I mean, like.
No, yeah, I haven't seen the video. I've always just kind of read that. Like, people are like, what if Walter White is just the dad from Malcolm in the Middle? But he's not. He's. It's all some of my favorite, and I don't know if this is for you too. If this rings true for you as well. I mean, you don't watch as much TV as I do, so some of my favorite characters are anti-heroes, or I guess sympathetic villains, or just sympathetic people who are also bad. Because Walter White, like some of my favorites are Walter White, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. He kind of
Jigsaw
works. Jigsaw, Jason Voorhees, Freddy, yeah. Michael Myers.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. All the favorites.
All our favorites.
It is almost Halloween.
Huh?
And I'm excited. It's coming close to Halloween, mentioning all of those spooky characters. Are you going to go see...
Birthdays are coming up, too.
I know. Are you going to go see It Chapter 2?
No. I don't like scary things. I don't know if I've said
I
that
went
on the podcast yet.
No, you
I'm sure I have.
maybe. Who
Because,
knows? I went and saw the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie
how was
the
that?
other day.
That looked kind of
It
interesting.
was. It is.
That's Guillermo del
Uh,
Toro, right?
yeah, but he's a producer. He's not a
Oh,
director.
okay. Never
Or I
mind.
think he might have written it as well. It's interesting. It's not great. It's not bad though.
Okay.
It's not so the books. It's based on books. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There's 3 different books.
A children's book series, like in quotes, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, some of them are kind of terrifying.
It's like hardcore Goosebumps.
Yeah, it's like Goosebumps, but like like edgy.
Edgy
It's like
Goosebumps.
It's like when you were reading Goosebumps as a kid, and your edgy brother going through his golf phase was reading Scary Stories
Twilight.
to Tell in the Dark. Twilight. Yeah, the scariest book.
It is scary.
Yeah.
Different reasons.
But it's like an anthology book series
Did you ever
that
read
are
Twilight?
literally, huh?
Did you ever read Twilight?
No, I also never saw any of the movies.
Really?
I
Looks like you're not a fan then.
I'm not, and I will say that I'm not afraid to. I was when Twilight came out. I was young, kind of young enough. I think I was in middle school or something like that.
I think I was in middle school. So you would have been.
So I might have, yeah, who knows? But I was kind of young enough where those things that were marketed towards kind of younger girls were hated by pretty much every boy ever.
Yeah.
So like Twilight or Justin Bieber, stuff like that. I was just like, I hate these things. These things are bad.
Yeah.
Didn't give them any chance. Isn't 50 Shades of Grey just like a Twilight fanfic?
Yes. It was originally a Twilight fan fiction.
It's a really dirty fanfiction. That's
well,
like, you know.
I mean, there's probably a lot worse out there.
Yeah,
You're talking about fan fiction, Trace.
that's
the
true.
dirtiest place any human can go.
That is, yeah.
Except maybe like just straight up porn.
Like the red light district or something like that. What was I talking about before we started talking about Twilight?
I have no idea. But
Oh shit!
I did watch season, what was it, 3 of Rick and Morty with you? That's a show.
Yeah, I forced you
That's
to
a
watch
TV
it.
show that I watched.
Cartoons are coming back in style, I think.
Is that right?
And there's some really good cartoons out there now.
Oh, I know something that I watched.
What?
There's a show called Over the Garden Wall. It's a cartoon.
I remember seeing that
It's
and being
so
interested in it.
It's so good.
Elijah Wood is
Yeah.
like the main voice.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of a little bit creepy. It's
I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about the Scary Stories.
yeah.
Talk about Over the Garden Wall, and then I'll get back to what I was talking
Over the
about.
Garden Wall. It's just fun. Tim Curry's in it. I think, and I think he plays a woman in it. I'm not sure.
That sounds like something Tim Curry would do.
Um,
Jim Curry's also in it.
I was trying to think of another M name, but
Ben Curry. And that's the end of that bit.
but it's good. It's kind of creepy. It's got
Yeah, I remember catching a part of it. It ran on Cartoon Network, right?
yeah, it's a miniseries.
Yeah, I remember catching part of it, and it was like one. It was with either like a witch or like a frog lady or both.
It's probably both.
And I was like, this is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's not scary at all. It's just kind of got a little bit of a
creep.
It's a little.
It kind of reminds me. It reminded me of shows like Adventure Time or Gravity Falls, which are both technically kids shows, but are a little more mature. Or they're definitely mature enough to hit that wider net.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are like, this is a good show, but they both have like creepy kind of surreal moments.
It's got a really interesting feel to it. It's kind of almost feels early American, like not like 1700s, but like 1900s.
The Manifest Destiny.
Like, you know what I mean, like 1910s
Yeah,
type
like
feel.
yeah. Which is basically the beginning of America.
Yeah, of course, as everybody knows.
Well, yeah.
So it was the beginning
Yeah,
of the America we know today.
basically. Anyway,
But that's a
Scary
good show.
Stories
You
to
should go
Tell
check it
About.
out.
It is a good show. It is a good show. From what I've seen, I haven't seen it all, but it's original.
I'll watch Breaking Bad. You watch that.
I'll finish that, or
Mine's
I
a
guess
much
restart.
bigger undertaking.
Yeah. But the movie,
Yeah,
the movie I saw.
That movie. Back to the movie.
Yeah, back to the movie. This is why we should always have a topic.
I don't know.
But this is kind of last minute anyway.
It's fine. We're talking about things we watch with our eyeballs.
With our eyeballs. Anyway, the movie, the books are an anthology series. And you would kind of expect the movie to also be kind of an anthology, much like Twilight Zone the movie.
Yeah.
But it's not. And I think that's what kind of kills it.
Interesting.
Because they give it a narrative, which is weird.
That is weird.
It's also a PG-13 movie, which I don't think works.
I think it's just so younger people could go see it, technically, even though they would if it was R anyway.
Yeah, well, and then it's the whole thing that the books are originally children's books, air
Have you
quotations.
seen that picture? That one that goes around, that lady? It's horrible.
The gaunt woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those drawings are scary. It just kind of, so it's basically, it has a very basic, like, kids or teenage horror movie thing. People go to a haunted house, someone disturbs a spirit, and the spirit wants revenge. And that's basically the movie.
Snore.
So it's very basic, and I went with a couple of friends, and I said the same thing walking out of the theater. The part with the scary stories were the best parts. It was like those parts were really creepy.
Why didn't they just focus on that?
They kind of did, but it was, and then there was another thing where they kind of figured it out too quickly. Like the first person who gets, he gets killed.
Yeah.
Is like the high school bully.
Spoilers from here on out.
Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? And there's another cool aspect where they take like 4 or 5 stories from the books, and they make those come to life. And that's what's real. That's the cool part, and that's why I wish it was an anthology thing, because they're using the stories from the books anyway. Why not just
do the anthology like the book is?
Do an anthology. So the first one, there's a story based on a scarecrow in the books. I don't know if you remember it, but it's called Harold.
I never read the book.
Oh, okay.
I don't like scary things. I read a few Goosebumps books, and that's about it.
And those scared you sideways.
No, they were actually really dumb.
Yeah, they
I think
are.
one of them that
they really are.
I think one of them that I read was the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and I was like, "This is the stupidest thing."
I'm not familiar with that one.
I don't remember anything about it.
But so there's a scarecrow, and they kind of change it to fit the narrative of the movie.
Yeah.
There's in the movie. There's a scarecrow that was built, and the high school bully lives on a farm, and he hates that scarecrow, and like he'll kind of go and take his teenage angst out on it, stuff like that. And then once this vengeful spirit is awoken, on Halloween night of all nights, the scarecrow, it makes the scarecrow come alive.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, and then they skip, hop, and jump.
Did he sing?
Yeah, he sings, he skips, he hops, and he jumps, and he stabs the bully through the stomach with a pitchfork.
I think that'd be pretty scary.
Yeah, it really was. Because and it made me and my friends kind of jump because the bully's walking through a cornfield in the middle of the night.
What's he doing that?
He was also drunk, and his mom is like, "Are you drunk again?" And he's like, "It's Halloween."
That's not an answer.
And she's like, "You were supposed to give eggs to the Hendersons or whatever their name was." And he was like, "Oh, tonight?" And she goes, "Yes, tonight." So he takes these eggs through the cornfield, and the scarecrow is like teleporting around the cornfield. And then out of nowhere, he like turns back and looks behind him, and then turns back in front of him, and the scarecrow is there.
And then he stabs him?
No, the kid stabs the scarecrow first, but he's a scarecrow.
He's a possessed scarecrow, so he is immune to damage.
He is immune. And then he takes the pitchfork and stabs the boy. And then it's really creepy because the boy slowly turns into a scarecrow. So, like, instead of blood, his wounds start, like, sprouting straw.
Oh, no.
And he starts, like, coughing up straw and shit. And it's really creepy. Like, that was a really cool part.
Neat.
And then the next thing is like, the group of bullied kids were like, oh, he went missing. And then, like, the stereotypical weird smart girl was like, I think it was the ghost or whatever.
Did she say that? Like, you quoted her directly?
Yeah, she was like,
I think it's the ghost or whatever.
I think it was the ghost or whatever. Yeah. Well, she took a book that belonged to the ghost, and in the book, the stories get written down, and it's like Death Note, that anime, where once you write it, it happens.
Yeah.
So she's going through, and she's like, oh no, the ghost is killing people with the book.
Well, then,
and no one believes her, of course.
Why didn't she just destroy the book? Is that not how this works?
She tries. That is it. I was like, just...
Is that how this ends?
No. They try to burn the book.
It doesn't burn.
It doesn't burn. She takes it. The funny, so after the bully goes missing, she doesn't eventually find him as a scarecrow. She puts the book back in the house and it's like, here, you stupid fucking ghost, I put it back. And she's like, oh God, I'm an angsty teenager. And this kid, who's one of the friends...
Hold on, wait, what?
No, she doesn't actually say that. One of her friends comes over, and they're talking, and she's like, oh, the book killed the boy. And her friend is...
The book killed the boys.
And he's like, whatever.
He turned into a scarecrow.
He's like, whatever.
Whatever.
And
I don't care about your murder book.
He picks up the book off the desk and starts reading it, and she's like,
don't read that.
Where did you get that? And he's like, it was on your desk. And she was like, I put the book back. And then he's like flipping through it. He
starts doing the Twilight Zone theme. He starts like humming it.
He goes, do 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 do. They're flipping through it, and then on the one of the empty pages, a story starts writing in front of them. And one of their friends dies. Yeah, they figure it out way too quick. Like, it should have been after the second one. Like, after the bully. So the bully gets killed, goes missing. They think he's just missing. Then one of her friends disappears.
Okay, hold on.
And then they should have figured it out.
Why the hell did it not work when she put the book back? Was it just like, no, you...
The ghost... The ghost was like, fuck you. You took my book. Fuck you. You're gonna die.
Great. But that would probably be the worst news. I'd just be like, all right, well, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I'm dead. Well, at the very end, like, so basically all of her friends are dead except for one, and they get arrested by the cops.
Why? Because they took a book?
I forget. No, something else happened. No, they had broken into a hospital to try to figure out the ghost.
Figure out the ghost.
So they get arrested, and the cop gives her one phone call, and the sheriff obviously doesn't believe her. The cop gives her one phone call, and she calls her dad, and she's like, I'm gonna die. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, just know I didn't leave you. I'm just fucking dead.
Oh my God.
She doesn't. Of course, they fix it, and she lives.
Okay, I'm not even gonna ask how because I don't care.
She reasons with the ghost. She's like, you're not a bad
She
person.
says, "Pull up a chair. I got some tea for you.
Pull up a
Got
chair.
some
I gotta
tea.
talk
Let's
to
talk.
you.
Let's talk through this.
Hey, buddy.
Why are you really mad? Let's get to the root of the problem." She puts on some glasses, pulls out a little notepad. There's like a long couch. She's like, "How did that make you feel?"
And the ghost says, not good.
It didn't feel good when I took your book, right? Well, think how maybe I felt when you took all of my friends' lives.
When you killed
I
them.
never really thought of it that way. I'm so sorry. Well, it's okay. I'm glad we could reach an understanding.
Now give me my friends back, please.
He's like, well, I don't have that power.
I am just a
I'm
ghost.
just a ghost that kills people.
They are also ghosts now.
They're.
I think they left it open for a sequel.
They're my friends now.
They're my
They're
friends.
my ghost friends.
If you would like them back, then let me kill you. But they left it open with a sequel. The whole thing is that the ghost is like a vengeful ghost because the ghost's family was mean.
I was hoping
like
you'd say
very
ghost
bad.
one more time.
The ghost family hates that she turns into a ghost.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically, her family was mean, and she is now a vengeful ghost.
Maybe
she
she just did need therapy. Maybe that's all.
Well,
no, don't spoil it. You're not allowed to spoil it.
So basically, the girl finds
Spoiler.
out that the family was mean, and she goes to confront the ghost.
She says, "I'm sorry, your family was mean."
I'm sorry, your family was mean. They lied. You're not a bad person. Stop being such a fucking bitch. And the ghost is like, still fuck you. I'm gonna kill you. And then the girl is like, I'll tell your story truthfully. And the ghost is like, oh, I then, and then pieces out. And the last bit is like talking about how stories can help or hurt. And that now that she's alive, or now that she told the story, she's gonna figure out how to get her friends back. And it's like very obviously, let's make a fucking sequel. Okay. Let's see how much goddamn money this fucking cow makes, and then let's make a sequel. Or not. They kind of left it up in the air.
Okay.
It was alright.
Well, now you guys
I
don't
talked
need to
about
see
it for too much.
Because we just told you
everything. Now you don't need to see it. Wait till it comes out like on Blu-ray. That way you can just look up like the individual stories online, because people will pirate it.
Hey, don't encourage people to pirate things.
No, they'll just be watching like movie clips. Anyway, I think
all put together.
All put together into a movie. No, don't watch the whole movie. The narrative part sucks. Just watch like the actual stories.
Look at some scary pictures.
Yeah, just look at scary pictures to see in the dark.
I have a theory about horror.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that movies are a bad avenue for it.
It depends.
Here's my opinion. I think short things are best for horror. Short stories. Short little what's that called? Is it a short film? Yeah. Short films.
Yeah. When films are short, what do they call
those movies that are like short movies?
Films, if you would. Anyway.
Because I think it's hard to maintain the suspense and the tension of the horror movie, like through the whole hour and a half runtime, or through the 400 or so pages of a novel.
I mean, there are some pretty what isn't one of your family? Isn't one of your favorite movies The Shining?
It's my favorite horror movie.
Yeah, I think. I mean, does that one hold up?
I mean, kinda. It's not my favorite movie. It's probably not top 10.
It's just that horror movies are so cheap to make.
Well, yeah. And I'm not saying...
And they also net a wide audience that most of the time people aren't good at making them.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that I think that that way of doing it is more effective, in my opinion, personally.
Yeah. I mean, I would understand. I just think that because they're so cheap and easy to make, and they net such wide audiences, that it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth for the whole thing. Because any
I
old,
don't care how cheap it's made. I mean, if it's good, it's good, right?
well, no, what I'm saying is because they're so cheap and because they're easy and they net a wide audience, a lot more people will make those movies instead of making a superhero movie or a romantic comedy, because horror is a lot more, I mean, it depends on what it is. Like, a loud noise at an unconventional time scares everyone, or most people.
And I don't like that.
So it's easier to capitalize on that because you can net so many people, and because horror is such a shared, like, being scared is such a shared thing. Like, everyone can get scared, and everyone gets scared somewhat easily. That
I'm not explaining why it happens. I know why it happens.
what I'm saying is there's such a big flux of horror movies.
That's not
because
even
they're
what I'm talking about, though. I'm just saying.
No, what I'm saying. Let me talk.
No, you're not talking about what I'm talking about.
Okay. Basically, what I should start by saying is
A large
there
audience.
are good directors and creators for horror movies, but because they're so easy to make, many directors and writers will make those, and most of horror movies are bad. That since 90% of horror movies are bad, that leaves the bad taste in your mouth of these shouldn't be as long, or the movies aren't working for the horror genre.
No, I'm just meaning that a lot of horror movies I think would be better if they were shorter.
Okay.
Because it gets stretched out. That's just my opinion.
But I think that's because...
No, I don't think it is.
Yes, I think it's because people are more... They're more... Like a good horror movie. There are good ones that are long. Like The Shining. Like It. Like the first Friday the 13th. Like the first... Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are good movies, and they're long, and they keep the suspense, and they keep the thrill, and they keep the horror. But not all of them are good, so they seem too long.
Okay.
I don't know if we see eye to eye.
I mean, I don't know why you're trying to convince me or something.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to offer my opinion on why you think that. I'm trying to kind of tell you why you're wrong.
I'm telling you what I think and why.
I'm telling you that you're wrong.
Well, thank you. Apparently, from our perspective only means Trace, and Sam's not allowed to have a
From Trace's perspective, I just think that
that I'm wrong.
You're dumb.
You can say it.
You're dumb,
and that I think that you're wrong.
No, I don't think that. I would agree that most horror movies are too long, but that's because they're just bad. If they're shorter, they're not going to give themselves enough time to fizzle out.
No, I just mean that a short film lends itself to horror better than a full movie does. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about quality. I'm not talking about other movies. I'm talking about the medium. I think a short film lends itself better because it's probably 30 minutes. So you can set up the creepy, get the build, it starts building, and then boom, there's the monster, and then it ends. And it's done. And you don't go, boom, there's the monster, and then, oh no, we get away, and then there's the monster again, and then, oh, we get away, and then there he is again. But this time he's dead, and he turns into moths, or it's some other stupid bullshit.
I'm just saying that there's not one specific medium that lends itself to horror the best. I think that horror is a good thing for almost any medium. It just has to be done right.
Especially interpretive dance.
Like the if you were to just show me the interpretive dance from the Shia LaBeouf music video.
Exactly.
I would be terrified. Anyway. What happened today in history?
Oh. Yeah, that's a thing.
That's the thing that we do.
Today,
Let's go ahead
August,
and wrap this thing up.
What the hell is it? 19th?
Something like
August
that.
19th.
Yeah.
In 1587.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me get the name right. Sigismund the Third
Sigismund
becomes King of Poland and Grand Duke of Lithuania.
Okay. So a man was crowned king.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this guy. Highly controversial figure in Poland.
He is?
His long reign coincided with the apex of the Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth's prestige, power, and economic influence. However, during his reign, the symptoms of decline that led to the Commonwealth's eventual demise also surfaced.
So basically people are a little butthurt that
Well, not anybody today, I would imagine. Because
everyone's like, I hate this dude.
Dude, if Sigismund, or whatever his name was, if he
Whatever
hadn't
the
been
fuck
around,
his name is.
man, we'd still be Poland, Lithuania, and
we'd still be the
we'd
Commonwealth.
be going to town.
A lot of people don't know that, but the reason that the Commonwealth started to decline was because, I mean, economically it just wasn't stable, because he would spend all of his money to just buy little circus monkeys that would do little dances for him.
He had a lot of them.
He would shill out. He had so many. At one point,
about 1,000, I think.
yeah. At one point, that was like kind of the median, the average number. At one point, I think he had about like 4,500 or something like that. Is what I remember. Yeah. And they would all just do a little dance in his courtyard, and he would laugh and say, "Ha ha ha! Funny monkey!
He'd clap his
funny
hands
monkey do."
Like a child.
He would, he would clap his hands like a child, say, "Ha ha ha! Funny monkey, do funny dance.
Do funny dance.
Do funny dance, funny monkey." And he was the inspiration for the Man in the Yellow Hat and Curious George.
That's a lot of lies to unpack, but
you know.
But you know.
What facts do you have?
Here's the truth. Sigismund never existed, and that's just
whoa. It was an inside job. It's a
conspiracy theory to prove why the Commonwealth broke apart. He was just like a marionette that people had. Like strings.
Literally a puppet.
Yeah, and he had a bunch of monkeys, and they had him clap his hands
and go, "Funny monkey, do funny dance."
What kind of image do you guys have right now?
I have a really beautiful one.
I love this very strange image.
Okay. Now for
I'm passing it back to myself.
Pass it back to yourself for your holiday corner. Sam.
Today is August 19th. We know that, and it's National Sandcastle and Sculpture Day.
Okay.
We don't have sand in Kentucky, except
yeah.
I guess I could go to like a construction site and start messing with their sand. They'd probably tell me
just
to get lost though.
I just like to imagine that you walk up to like a construction site. You're about to walk in and someone stops you and like, hey.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I've got like swim trunks on. I've got like my pail and they're like a bright blue pail and like a yellow shovel.
No, what I'm imagining is you're in like your normal outfit, so you got like jeans and a t-shirt on. You walk up, they're like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm just trying to go in." And they're like, "You can't do that. Not without this hard hat." And then they give you a hard hat. And then they're like, "Go ahead." And then I just like imagine you running up to the sand pile and just start scooping it into your pockets. like you know that thing that people do where they hold their shirt out and scoop it in so it makes like a little pouch.
Yeah.
You're just doing that. And then the foreman runs up and like, "Get away from my sand." And you're like, and then you scurry away.
And then I let out a maniacal laugh and I go, "I am the Sandman. I am the sand napper. I'm going to steal all your sand."
And you scamper away. The only time I've ever seen like a sand sculpture was I think in Florida. I think it was a vacation, not while I was living there.
Yeah.
We were walking down the beach and there was just a giant pyramid.
That's cool.
Made of sand that I really wanted to knock over.
You're evil, aren't you?
I didn't.
I think that proves you're evil deep down, though.
But can't you kind of feel I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen just like a giant pyramid out in, on a beach or something.
On the beach? No, I don't think I have.
But if you were to see that, would you not in your head just go, man, it'd feel really good to knock that down?
Maybe just like fall backwards into it.
Yeah, something like that. There's like a Kroger out in Middletown that, like, I think every year they make like a big sand sculpture in the parking lot.
Why?
I don't know.
Why doesn't? How long does it take for somebody to not hit it with their car?
Well, they put like, those security barricades that they have at concerts.
Oh, they put it around it.
They circle those around it.
Interesting.
Apparently, someone I know tried to knock it down, and it was like rock hard. So it might be like a cement thing.
It's a fake one.
Yeah.
The most I've ever seen at a beach is a giant pit that looked like it was meant to like catch like Ash and his friends. Like Team Rocket was halfway through building one of those fake ground things.
Yeah, like a tiger trap.
Yeah.
you fall into it. There are like bamboo spikes at the bottom.
They were working on it. They were almost there.
Yeah, they started to. You just see like a stack of pointy bamboo
next to this
in a big pit.
You're like, woo, glad I was a little earlier.
Anyway, happy National Sand Sculpture Day.
Yeah.
And pour one out for my homie, the leader of Poland. I forgot his name. The king of Poland and the Sigismund Seinfeld. This has been From Our Perspective. Said it was going to be a short one. It's about as long as they typically are.
Yep.
So sorry for misleading you. But if you want to be misled some more, you can listen to some other episodes. Don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I guess you'll have to figure it out for yourself, because we have 29 other episodes up for your listening pleasure.
Where can they find those, Trace?
You can find them on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, Stitcher, other places. And you can find all of those at From Our Perspective. So go look for us there. Leave a review or subscribe or leave a comment in any of those places if you can. Let us know how we're doing.
What's our social media?
Also, our social media also is we're also on Instagram, Twitter at FOP_pod, Facebook at Large Lads, and on YouTube you can find us at From Our Perspective. Other than that, we post the podcast every Monday. I will see you next Monday, and we'll see you next Monday. Not just me. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.